Hello, I'm Amber Uper. I'm down here in my basement tonight with my little mini lathe. It's a little noisy because the furnace is running right now. But anyway, this is my Chinese-made 7x10 mini lathe. I bought this one from Harbor Freight Tools. This is the Central Machinery brand, which is the Harbor Freight Tools brand. Now, in case you're not familiar, 7x10 means that the maximum diameter of anything you could put into this lathe is 7 inches, because that's you're hitting the bed if you do any more. And the maximum length of a piece that you can work on theoretically is 10 inches. But it's hard to get this thing set up for more than about 8 inches just because of the way things work. Now, I've got the tail stock off of the lathe right now because I've got the cutter backed up all the way, and there's not enough room for the cross slide. Not enough room for the cross slide and the tail stock if you back it up all the way. Anyway, I wanted to show you a couple of new things that I bought for my mini lathe that will help me get some things done. So, the first thing I wanted to show you is this set of precision boring bars. Now, I got all of these things that I just bought. I got them from All Industrial Tool Supply, and I got them from their eBay web store. I buy most of my stuff from eBay. That's the way I am. But anyway, so what we have here is a set of, let's see if I can, there you go, set of boring bars. They're quite boring, you know. From the smallest one here to the largest, longest one here. These have a 3/8 shank. The bottom of it is a 3/8 shank for mounting, and the lengths are different for different hole depths in the piece that you're working on. And these all have carbide tips that are brazed on. They're not replaceable or anything like that. It's an inexpensive set of boring bars, but hey, they work. They'll do for my purposes for now. I don't have anything to mount them in yet, but I will. They were cheap, so I got them. And the main thing I want to show you in this video is my new tool post, which this is the tool post that comes with the lathe. And let me zoom in on that a little bit so you can see what I got here. Now, this is the original tool post. These come with the lathe when you get them. And the way you put cutting tools in here is you put them in this slot and you clamp them down with these screws. These are all Allen head thumb screws, if you want to call them that. And I just put an Allen wrench in here and turn them down. I've got one in here right now. You can probably see that one. Let's see if I can put more light on it, maybe. There we go. So it's clamped in, there's 2 screws. I have it sticking way out because of what I was using it for. And these are 5/16 tools, cutting tools that I've got. All of the cutting tools that I've got right now are 5/16. And with the tool post that comes with the lathe, you have to shim these, the 5/16, to get them to center line for your cutting, because you're supposed to get the tip of the cutter as close to the center line of the piece as you can when you're cutting. So I use a brass shim underneath here. Now, with the quick change tool post, you don't have to do that. Let me pull that out of the box here. There's the knob for the clamp, and the shaft for the clamp. And here's the tool post. Now, what this does, this has got 2 positions, and you can probably see the dovetails in here. I hope. Maybe you can see them better this way. Yeah. Okay. And these have these little clamping things, the dovetail clamping things. And now when you turn the knob on the top, that clamp moves down or up, and when it moves down, it also moves out. So whatever you got in here clamps it in place. So I'm going to go ahead and change this out right now. So basically what I have to do is take this off. That's what you use to clamp the tool post into position. You can turn the positions however you need it to be. So this is coming off. So there's that. Pick that up. Now this is loose because I already had it loose. So you take that one off because this one is too short. The original one that's in there is too short for this. Put them there. You have to take the base plate off of this, which I did. I got it all loosened up. So that comes off there because there's no way to put this base plate on here and have it stay. Plus, that would make the tool post too high. So what we're going to do now, take the nut off of this, and we'll put the, see, I believe this is an 8mm shaft, if I remember right. It goes in there, you turn it down tight, hand tight, and this goes on here, and you put your nut on the top of that, and that nut clamps this holder down so that it will stay in place, won't be turning like this. If it's loose, of course, obviously you can't do anything with your tools. So then this piece goes on here. And there's your shaft for turning it, and then the knob, of course. Gotta have a knob, you know. Oh, I put it on backwards. No, I actually got it right. How about that? There's two ends to this thing. One has longer threads than the other one. I discovered that the short threads go in here, and the long threads you put the knob on. So that takes care of that. Alright, now, grab my little wrench here. This is one of the wrenches that comes with the lathe. So then we tighten that down. Now that won't move. Now, for my next thing, I have a quick change tool holder. And maybe you can see this. Yeah, you can see that. Basically the tool, your cutting tool, goes in this slot, and then these little screws, which you can see sticking down through there, that's what you clamp the tool into the holder with. So you put the tool in like that. And this is just one of my 5/16 cutting bits with a raised on carbide tip. You take your little Allen wrench, clamp them in. You can clamp them in pretty good. Now this tool, I could run it in that way a little further, but it doesn't seem to matter. And of course I've got it in the wrong end now, and I've realized that. So let me do that again. Because if I wanted to cut the outside of something, then it's in the right place. So what I got to do here is you undo the clamping pressure here, and you can just slide that right on. And then you turn your clamp, and that holds it on, won't come off, won't move around because it's clamped in place real nicely. Now you have to adjust the height of this to get center line on your spindle for proper cutting. Because if you get it too low or too high, the tip doesn't cut right. So what they have on here is they have this little thumb wheel. Let me zoom in a little more. Okay, so they have this thumb wheel on here, and that thumb wheel goes up and down on this screw. And what that does, the thumb wheel rests here on the top edge of the tool post holder. So when you put that on, you can adjust the height of this tip by turning that either up or down depending on what you need to do. And then when you get it where you want it, there's this little nut on the top, and using a wrench, of course, you can clamp that in so that it won't move. And now you take that off, you put it back on, it's going to be set up again. It's going to be set up the same way. This will always be wherever you set it the first time. With this setup like this, you can get several of these things and set your tools, your various cutting bits in them, and set them to center, and they'll always go where you had set them the first time. You clamp it in there. The tip's always going to be a dead center if that's where you got it set with this. These are very handy indeed. Now I need to get some more because I only have this one. This is part number 250001, and this tool post is the smallest tool post you can get. There's like 5 different sizes, 3 or 4 or 5 different sizes of this tool post, and they're for different size lathes, bigger lathes. This one, you have to use the smallest one available in order to be able to adjust your tips to center line, because if the tool post was any big, you couldn't adjust that down far enough to get this centered. It'd be above center all the time. So you got to go with the smallest one available. And that particular one is the 250-000 tool post. Quick change tool post. So now I've got this one. This is the standard one, and I need more of them. And of course they're available. It's just a matter of wait until payday to get some more. And then I've got this one. Now this is a 250002, and let's see, they probably look about the same, don't they? Get right down to it. But there is a difference. The 250002 has a small V groove in the bottom here. And I don't know if you can see that, probably not. Maybe I can get it up closer to the camera, be able to see it if there's enough light. You can almost see that V groove in the bottom here. And what that V groove is for is so that you can mount regular cutting bits in it. Like, here's another one of these. Mount those in there. But you can also mount boring bars that have a flat. There's a flat edge on a lot of these long boring bars with the replaceable cutting tips, and they're round shaft, but they have a flat on the top. So you get the round bottom in here, and then you clamp down on a flat, and that basically presets the cutter head so that it's in the right place. Now these boring bars I've got here, they'll work. You can put them in there like that and clamp them down. Let's see, are you seeing this? Yeah, okay. You can put them in there like that and clamp them down. Problem is you have to make sure you've got the tip adjusted to the right angle for cutting. And then you just clamp it in here, and it's going to stay on there. So you can run your boring bars in to the hole that you're cutting in the center of whatever piece you might have on here. Let's say, for instance, you got one of these and you want to make the hole bigger. So you clamp it on like this, or if you've got your chuck on here, you clamp it in the chuck, and then you run that thing in to the center hole, and as you adjust this, you're going in and out of the hole, and you're adjusting this to go further out, and it just cuts the hole bigger. So that's I think that's going to be a nice improvement for my lathe, to be able to handle the cutting bits like that. So there you are. There's my my new accessories for my mini lathe. Thanks for watching.